pass state law, they gotta go with it, so it's not a question of what they want, what's good for the citizens of the state of Georgia.
Dave, you brought up a topic that is near and dear to a lot of young Republicans' hearts, which is the affordability of housing. Aside from our president here, not many of us actually own a home, and with the rising prices of them, it's becoming harder and harder for first-time buyers to find themselves a place in the market. So what reforms at the state level would you support to make housing more affordable and accessible, both for the working class and the younger generation looking for their first home? Sorry, you did.
Okay, so to start, I have a lot of thoughts on this, so that's why I smile. To start, I would make it so that residential homes, and that includes single-family homes all the way to fourplex, could only be owned by American citizens and American permanent residents. Last week, I got a letter in the mail from a trust offering to buy my home for cash. There is no way, maybe one of you, maybe two, could compete with that on the open market. But with 8% interest, I'm going to go with the majority who cannot. So I want to take businesses out of the residential market. Now there are some exceptions in my mind, and I have all this listed on my website, but I'll keep it short. S-corps would be an exception, and that's basically it, because S-corps can also only be owned by American citizens and American permanent residents. So please go look at my website. I have a whole rundown on breakdowns and protections, but largely I just want American citizens and American permanent residents to own homes in the state of Georgia. It takes the capital out of competing, and people can start to own their own homes. There are some other measures and ideas that I have in place that address affordability. However, within the Columbia County and Richmond County district, there are affordable houses in the Augusta area. Columbia County is becoming more expensive, but Augusta. So we have to look at other issues before and start to raise the Augusta standard of living so that people feel comfortable moving back there and buying houses there. I'll briefly touch on a not so conservative idea of mine, which is basically tying wages to fair market rent rates. Basically makes landlords opposed to business interests in the region. It's a very complicated idea. Please come talk to me about it later if you're interested. But please.
I don't think the government should do a dang thing to make housing more affordable, other than get out of the way. Don't put undue restrictions on builders, developers. This is a private sector issue. There's no place for the government to get involved in setting what houses should cost. So that's just where I'm at. Every product you buy has some small degree of regulation. A little bit of regulation when necessary is not a bad thing. Affordable housing, we need it. It's something you've got to have. Right now, a lot of the struggle you young folks are having is by inflation and all the money they pumped in. We went from, I got a 15-year note on my house 5 years ago for like 3%. There's not a 3% mortgage rate out there right now. It's come down. It's around 6.7 as of close of business Friday. But as far as the government intervention to create affordable housing, I don't like that pathway there. I don't like the government having too much control over any business or market. It creates cronyism, and that word, I don't think there's anybody in here who's looking for that as an option in any product they buy.
So let's be clear. I know people talk about affordable housing in Georgia. Depending on which study you look at, Georgia has the 12th lowest cost of living in the nation, or the 13th. It's right in there. Okay. So what I see affecting Georgia is everybody moving from the blue states coming here, and look at our population. It is increasing. Okay. That puts pressure on what? Building houses. Now, what I don't agree with, I don't believe the government should be involved. If you want to see what rent and everything looks like with the government involved, look at California. We went out there to see my son in the Navy, a little 2-bedroom, kind of, it was a nice area, but just a basic 2-bedroom, 1-bath home was about $900,000. $900,000. But the government got involved, they subsidized everything, stacked up the, everything. If you wanna see what the government looks like, they get involved in rent, and I know that, I'm just saying what we got done. So let's talk about this. There was a bill introduced last year, oddly enough by a Republican, and thank God it died, that wanted to dictate to local, counties and commissions how you build your houses. You can't put all these restrictions. Nonsense. That is a local decision, and should always be a local decision. So, yes, no, I agree. We do need to look maybe at some little higher density that allow more people, but also we can't do, grow at the expense where we have the problems that we're just trying to fix here with growth and no roads and infrastructure.
So another topic that always comes up when